All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Socially Unacceptable But Sober Podcast. I seatbelted myself in.
You got a big wheelbase down there. You better be careful.
It's like a speed bump over here for this thing. Yeah. What's up? My name's Dino. I'm an alcoholic.
What up, Dino? My name is Jonathan. I'm an alcoholic.
Jonathan's on fucking weird form tonight.
He's on fire.
My name's Matt. I'm an alcoholic.
Matt, John, I think it's all the
Dino.
fog. The fog he breathed in.
Yeah. Dude, you missed the best part of that too, man.
No, I told
Dino
him.
told me about it.
Yeah, but it's
He
one thing
missed
to be,
it.
hey, dude, I got a fog machine. It's fucking cool. And then to see the
see it.
fog
And
machine.
then
I
to
don't
see
get
it
that
come in his
excited
house.
I don't get excited about shit like that, bro.
So what's going on? John, have you had a hell week?
No.
Because we are on Friday, so.
We made it to Friday. It was a great week. Great.
That's cool, man.
How was your week?
My week was pretty uneventful, as usual, man. I'm professional nothing.
Yeah.
How about you, bro? Busy this week. I think I only stopped down one time.
Yeah, I didn't see you at all this
Yeah.
week, barely.
I've been actually pretty busy, like picking up people, bringing them out all over the place, and
Good shit.
hitting up 2, 3 meetings a day.
A day?
Going to lunch and shit.
Going to lunch.
Yeah, how
and
was
shit.
that? Delicious?
It was great.
Where'd you go to lunch?
We went to this beautiful establishment called Bill and Sam's in Wookett,
Wookett.
Connecticut.
50 years. They
They're-
just sold out. They had new owners.
Yeah, but they're still good though. They didn't really change much.
I
They
wouldn't
just
think.
changed owners.
Why would you change something that's been open for 50
That's
fucking years?
good for that many years. I
Can
made
you hear
myself.
Matt all right from that far away?
Oh, damn.
I built my own
Why you
omelet.
being passive aggressive with your fucking comments, bro?
Because I didn't have the fucking headphones on, so
fucking
I literally did not know if I could
Anyway.
hear you.
You know, and, what the fuck did
You
I
just-
can't get into something. I got something to say to you.
Yeah.
I forgot. You're lucky. I forgot.
I think we forgot we're on a podcast. Hey guys. So anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, merchandise.
Yeah, fucking bullshit text. You laughing?
What was I going to say?
yeah.
Sobriety dates, all that good stuff. Eventually, sooner or later, John will put all that stuff at the bottom of the screen so you can know how to do that stuff.
I timed it pretty good last week. Did you watch it?
I did watch it.
It was right there.
Then it must have worked because I didn't say anything about it. Then it must have been good.
I never pay attention to that shit at all, so I wouldn't ever know.
Yeah. No, it's up there. I got the Shopify site up there. I've got YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff. We're going pretty well on TikTok, and I keep forgetting, man, one of these days we're going to go live on the show. I think it'd
Yeah,
be
we
fun.
just got to get
That's tough.
gooder
with
at
this-
it.
That's tough with this crew.
Yeah.
I don't know. Once we're in the move of things, I think we're all right.
Been in the move. 34 shows, bro.
Yeah. No,
We're
I mean
moving.
like in the move, like
We're
first 5
shaking
minutes.
and moving. We can't watch our mouths.
Yeah.
Well, we could also do a delay. You could
you
do kind
can't.
of a delay on the live.
Bro, we're
And
not that sophisticated over here.
I'm not sophisticated at all.
Yeah, he's fucking writing checks that my ass needs to fucking cash over here. I'm trying to figure out what the hell he's talking about.
So yeah, we're not going to read comments tonight. What we're going to do is we're going to review them all the time as we usually do. Comment on them as we usually do. Personal, on the tube and all that stuff. And then every once in a while, the one that sticks out, we're going to talk about on the show, right?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube.
don't say that on the tube.
The
though.
tube.
Yeah,
He's
The
too cool for
YouTube.
school.
that's a face puncher right there.
Tonight we are going to do the same thing we've been doing for the last couple of episodes, which is listen to this video. Tonight is a really, really good one. This thing hit me like a ton of bricks the other day. I sent it to everybody.
It hit me so good, I thought I sent it to him.
That's how good it is. That's how nobody even remembers who sent it. And then we're going to talk about that stuff. So again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. Merchandise.
I gotta get a shirt.
Yeah, you do, buddy.
You gotta get a
They're
shirt.
fucking sweet.
I'm going to
Actually,
be a podcaster for Halloween.
I noticed that the quality has improved on those shirts too. Like,
Yeah.
if you see Ashley's hoodie, one of the first that I got, it's like kind of faded white. It's not really a heavy white. And then I blew up the logo. I took Matt's suggestion. Apparently didn't follow it exactly, but did the spray paint lettering. And,
No, yeah, you missed the mark on what I had in mind.
and
Good
then,
job, nonetheless, though.
It's it's coming out a little darker. Also, hype up. Next week
Yeah.
we got special guest
Next week's special guest,
Olivia
Uh-huh.
of the female variety.
Yeah, she's a female.
She is a female, and
The
then
name probably gave it away.
you
I know
never
this dude, Olivia.
You never know these days.
That's true.
And then November we got Chris in the mix. Chris Lacko.
Yep.
Making his ways around the circuit and has an awesome story.
Yeah.
Awesome share. Good
Also,
stuff.
isn't he a arm wrestling champion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you were telling me how you think you could probably.
Yeah, I'm going to take him. I'm taking him.
Probably
out.
take him.
Yeah.
I think we should. do
Either that
on
or
the
I'm
show.
going to snap my arm in half. I am
Use
not
it.
losing. I'll break this thing before I lose. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. That is going to be awesome.
We should do it, though.
We should do it.
I would definitely win. Once we lock up, I got a hammer
kiss 'em?
in this hand. No, a hammer. Just a hammer. And as soon as you say go, I win.
Yeah, nobody said anything about the rules in the beginning.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dark.
This is hood arm
I'm just
wrestling.
trying to win something, bro. I'm just trying
I'm the world champion now.
It's called ghetto arm wrestling, bro.
I'm going to win. That's what the fuck.
Yeah.
At all costs.
No
Anyway,
offense, Chris.
Yeah.
so again, with those comments, like I said, we're going to continue read them, continue commenting back on them, but we're going to wait till we get some more, and we're going to keep reading them, and then when one really, really sticks out, we're going to bring that out, and that's what we're going to do from now on comments, since we only get Roy, Gigi. Same guys over and over again, and we really appreciate it. Alyssa.
No, your wife doesn't
Maritza
comment.
never comments.
Maritza did comment once.
What, one time?
One
Come
time.
on, bro.
One time.
This
One
one
time.
time?
This one time.
So anyway, what do we got this week for a
one.
this one's really good. John, you got to pay attention to this one.
Okay. Well, before I pay attention to that one, can I share something that Matt fucking shares with me on the daily? I get like 8 gajillion messages in my Instagram, which I love when I have the chance to sit down and read them. This one hit me especially hard. This one really.
This is the idiot one, though. Right?
This is not. This is not. This is good. This is good stuff.
This is funny shit.
Yeah, it's good. Good. It's all good.
Motivational quotes. When work feels overwhelming, remember that someday you're going to die. Dance like everyone is watching. Privacy is an illusion. Everything you were told as a child was a lie intended to get you to shut up. We come into this world alone, scared and crying, and then very little changes. Don't be afraid of things that are different from you. Be afraid of things that are just like you, because you are terrible. Start each day with a goal, so you have something to screw up. Don't worry, things will get worse before, they will get hopeless.
That's fucking priceless.
Oh my god.
I didn't send you that one. I sent it to him direct.
Yeah,
So good.
I
So
would've watched
good.
it.
The inbox that I have from Matt, I have to question sometimes what fucking things you are following on Instagram. It's like, oh, some of the shit. How do you sleep at night knowing people don't like you? Me.
Fan on. Fuck yeah,
Oh,
baby.
nice, bro.
There was one with Jesus in there. Real friends don't get offended when you insult them. They smile and call you something even more offensive.
Fuck yeah.
If I say I'm gonna call you back, just go on. Enjoy the rest of your day because I'm lying. Oh, funny shit. All right. I had some good laughs.
Before we go on, I wanted to shout out to two guys that I've been actually talking to a lot. This dude Jason and this dude James. They're kind of new. They've been coming around for about a month and change. I've been hanging out with these dudes pretty solid, talking to them. These dudes are the epitome of willing to do whatever it takes.
So they come into the spot?
No, they do. They do.
Why don't I fucking have not met them?
They're quiet, man. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, sitting down, being quiet, and listening.
Well, they're not introducing themselves, people.
What's their names?
James and Jason. James got a little ink on his face.
Oh, I
little?
talked to him, but I didn't know his
Jason,
name.
Jason just is, dude, they're just doing their thing, man. And I hung out with them guys today, and I'm like, it's always real refreshing to see somebody as hungry for recovery as you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just see it in them. But I'm like, dude, these dudes are the real deal, man. They're not messing around, man. And I love that. And I love to surround myself with people like that, man. So I just wanted to give them a shout out, man. Give them a little pat on the back on the podcast.
I got to do one thing, too. I was, I get a text every day from someone, and there's always, thoughts, day, quotes, day, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wouldn't life be amazing if we could live these quotes
I know, right?
and these suggestions to the T? Imagine how amazing life would be. Then I was like, nah, Where would the fun be in that?
Yeah, right.
Dude, so what you're talking about, Matt, my ADD will not allow me to read all of that, at least at one sitting. So what I did was I switched my phone to Siri. You can change your accent. I did like an Indian accent, one's an Asian accent, and I landed on an English accent, like a London English accent. And I play his messages every morning through my car. I say, "Hey Siri, play my message."
That's a good idea.
It's fucking, dude. I texted him back today. I was like, I don't know why. Whatever you're doing, you're doing. You should just be fucking writing. You should be working for a fucking magazine, a website, posting this shit every fucking day, because it is like when you actually hear somebody with an elegant voice like read it to you,
Like Morgan Freeman.
it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic and very well written. I mean, he's a very talented dude. So shout out to our other James. Oh God, Siri's talking to me. Siri's listening.
Siri. All right, man. So we got a video. We're gonna listen
Enough
to
of this
it.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Let's get to it, man. Recovery
right.
time.
get into it.
John, pay attention. This is amazing.
It says the tag on the top says "love this," so
Love this.
I feel like I already
Love it. This
love
shit.
this. Cup of B from YouTube. I'm gonna subscribe to her.
And action.
Done. Okay.
Have you ever had somebody send you something that was just too good not to share, but maybe a little too much to type? Well, my dad sent me something the other day, and I thought it was awesome, so I was just going to share it with you. If you take this basketball right here, you put it in my hands, yeah, it's worth about $15. That's it. But you put that basketball in the hands of LeBron James, it's worth about 30 or 40 million. You take this football right here, you put it in my hands, it's worth about, I don't know, $10, $11 probably. You put it in the hands of Peyton Manning, it's worth about $50, $60 million.
More than that.
Depends on whose hands it is.
What?
You take this golf club right here,
Just listen.
you put it in my hands, it might be worth $50 maybe. You put it in the hands of Tiger Woods though, it's worth 80 million. You see, it depends on whose hands it in. If I have a stick in my hand, a rod in my hand, I might could beat away an animal or a wild animal or something trying to come at me. But you put it in the hands of Moses and it parted the Red Sea. You put a slingshot in my hands, it just becomes a kid's toy. You put it in the hands of King David and he slays the giant with it. See, it depends on whose hand it's in. And, 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread would feed me with some bread left over. You put it in the hands of Jesus and it feeds thousands. Depends on whose hands that it's in. If I had a couple nails in my hand right now, I might would build you a birdhouse if you're lucky. Might nail down a piece of wood. But you put them same nails in Jesus' hands and it leads to salvation and eternal life for folks who love him and folks who trust him. You see, it depends on whose hands that it's in. And your worries and your cares and the things that's got you stressed out, if you leave them in your hands, that's all they're ever going to be. But if you put them same worries and cares and your problems in the hands of Christ, he's going to see you through it. He's going to take care of every need that we got. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. But just remember, it depends on whose hands that it's in. Give everything you got to God and let him handle it for you. Take care of it.
Start a lawnmower.
You ever had...
That was fire, bro.
Save
That was
fire.
fire, man.
Even from your heritage, you like that?
I got no problem.
With Jesus?
No.
Okay. All right.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
He ain't heavy. Yeah, man, that was
You know the
beautiful.
thing I love about that? Aside from Jonathan's ignorance?
That's one of my favorites.
The other night, someone
It's my favorite.
at the spot was talking about, I try to trust God. I try to turn things over. And you remember what I said? You probably don't. You don't pay attention to me.
No, I wasn't even in there for it. I don't think.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yes,
were.
I was. Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
I was one of the last people.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all right. You don't pay attention.
Yeah.
I usually do.
Anyway,
I bet you'll refresh me, though.
Nope.
well, most people think that that's an impossible task.
Right.
What this guy's talking about. And when I am self-consumed, I'm self-absorbed, and I have no belief in anything other than myself. It's just like he said, and that's the way it's going to stay. You know, a lot of people, I think, get caught up in the fact that they say, okay, I believe in God or Jesus or whatever higher power you want, and you label it. It means I must be getting what I want
Exactly.
in order for this to be real.
Right.
And that is not the case.
No.
It, in fact, quite honestly, is not the case a lot of the times because my wants and desires are usually fucked up.
Yeah.
They're about being selfish.
Coming from
They're
your
about
will.
serving me.
Right.
And I think in my head, okay, I'm going to pray to God because I need all these things in my life. Well, and then I'm not getting them. So obviously God's not working.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, we're going to roll this right over into people get caught up in the relapse and also blame God. I believed in my higher power. Why did he let me relapse?
Oh God. Dude.
Right? And so that's where I bring it to what I said the other night when you didn't pay attention. Was it's because of the fact I am self-serving. I got my blinders on. And I'm not grateful for anything that's going on in my life.
Right.
I truly believe, and I'm sure there are good people that'll tell me I'm completely wrong for this, but I truly believe that if you have a grateful heart, you're never going to go back out.
Yeah, I 100%.
I believe that.
I believe that 100%.
Through my soul.
I also believe before they even go back out part, if you have a grateful heart, you're never going to sit in negative and poor me's and
Right.
all this
There's
stuff.
no
because
room for that.
There's no room. You're too busy being grateful for stuff.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean?
Well, and that's also how I had to be taught.
How come we don't
man.
got these on?
I don't know, because I like to freelance sometimes.
All right.
You know, you don't have to wear them either if you don't want.
And then I'll feel fucked up.
Yeah, I feel fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, you look fucked up. Without them on.
Really?
Yeah, you're third wheeler now.
I'm fucking freelancing here.
Don't start dancing, though.
Yeah,
Let's
get the
relax.
tongue out.
Oh, bing.
I had to be taught, man, because I did that type of praying, you know, and somebody was like, "Yo, you need to learn how to pray," and I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, I mean, you know, you're praying for what you want to happen, dude. That's like you're already setting your because it's the same thing with resentments. Like resentments are premeditated. Our expectations are premeditated resentments, right? Because like if
course.
I expect something to turn out my way, fire.
Oh, that shit was fire, John.
If I expect something to turn out my
that's not
way,
his, that's not
it's not original. Definitely not.
You said it good.
I
though.
stole yours though too the other day. It's not odd. It's God. I love that.
That's not
And then
mine.
it's been.
That's not his either.
not
I know.
mine.
It was stolen by
Nothing
Chris.
is
No one got
ours.
anything.
Chris, like I'm stealing that. I was like, oh, it's not mine.
We're all,
Everybody ever listening, they're like, I heard that before.
we're all
somewhere.
plagiarists.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
because I do, man. I put my will, and if things went this way, and I could do it this way, then it would work out. It's only when, and rarely when I'm able to sit back and fucking watch the show unfold. Did I talk about my conversation with you on the show last week when I had the in-laws up here? No, I don't think I did. Did I tell you about this? I was when the in-laws were up here. Dad went away to his reunion. Well, anyway, I'm home with the baby. It's Friday afternoon. Dad had left to go to his reunion, like 50th reunion, high school reunion, and we had a wedding to go to. So the
Wait a
in-laws.
minute. How the fuck's he only having a 50th?
I don't know. Maybe
40th
60th,
coming.
60th, 50th, 70th. I don't know. He's 77. Just turned 77. So 60th.
Probably
I don't know what
It's
number.
probably 60th.
All right, let's
was
just
a reunion.
leave that out of the
Yeah,
six.
leave it out.
60th.
60th, 5th, and the
60th.
in-laws were coming down. And, you know, in-laws get to the house, and I got the baby, and, you know, Nick's still doing work. He's on the phone with customers, and, you know, it was a lot of motion, a lot of
Not going on.
excitement. Yeah. And I think it was the next morning. Yeah, it was the next morning. So I put the baby to sleep. You know, I wake up the next morning, and I go out onto the deck, and I'm just, you know, waking up, and I see, like, my pops just left, like, 2 fucking liquor bottles out on the fucking...
Oh, we talked about this.
Yeah, and I was like, what the
that wasn't
fuck,
last week.
man?
That was
a
No,
couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks
Yes,
ago.
I remember now.
Come on. Bro.
And then I go into the fridge to get some creamer, and the fridge has got beers in it. And I was like, what the fuck? And I got that self-righteous bug out where I was like, I don't want everybody to know I'm a fucking alcoholic. There's a lot of fucking beer. And I'm a fucking dick. And Ashley pulls me to the side. She's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you being such a dick? I was like, I don't know.
I just feel like it.
I don't know. Maybe I'm an alcoholic. So she's like, you need to like talk to somebody or call somebody. So I walked outside. I'm pretty sure I called you.
Yeah.
You didn't pick up. I
No,
called.
but we texted directly about it.
And then I talked to you. And you're like, hey, man. Yeah, you are. And like, maybe you're not on the beam or something. But why don't you just like tell them? And I was like, oh, God almighty. So I walk back in there and I'm like, I'm off the beam. Something's not right with me. And I'm sorry for being a dick. And what made me feel like even more of a piece of shit was that now the beer was all out of the fridge. Like in the 5 minutes I was outside talking to you, and the liquor was cleaned up downstairs from my father's room, which makes me feel like King Baby, right? Everything's got to be my way. Everything is, and it was a good lesson because I went in there and I did what the program told me to do. I apologized. I was honest about myself, where I'm at, and most importantly, I apologized and tried to act right for the rest of the day.
Well, there's also certainly absolutely nothing wrong. Like I told you,
Yeah.
You got to stand up for yours. Mm-hmm. It's just in how you do that.
Assertiveness, man.
Your sobriety is yours to protect.
Yeah.
And yours alone. So if you don't protect it, shame on you.
Right.
Can't depend on others to protect it, man.
But how I do it.
Right.
That's the thing. And that's what one of the things I said to you is what's going on inside of you, because that wasn't new.
Yeah.
That had been going on, and all of a sudden that day it made a difference.
Right.
So
right. And then earlier that week, that Wednesday, I was sharing with somebody else. You guys came up to me and you're like, well, you all right? You all right? I'm like, yeah. I'm just tired. I think I'm tired. Because I'm lazy, man. I don't want to look inside and see what the fuck is wrong with me,
And no one wants to tell on themselves to say, you know what, I am kind of fucked up right now.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that is also just a learned behavior. And we can relate it directly to that. Like, man, I say I'm turning stuff over. I turn it over with one hand and I grab it back with the other.
Yeah, because I keep it inside, man.
That's right.
When I keep it inside, it's all right. I'll take it.
I heard this one time. If you turn it over,
yeah,
but you're still hanging on to it, you're gonna find yourself upside down. You know what I mean? And it's not good. You're not gonna be good. You know. There's times when it's easy. There's times when it's hard. You know what I mean? I'm a human being. You know what I mean? A lot of times it is self-centeredness, selfishness. Like my way is
not a lot of the time.
Every time.
All the time.
My way is the right way.
Yeah.
If everybody could just see it the way I see it,
We'll be good.
we'll be good.
Yeah.
But
We're all driving to the brick wall.
jeez. But I really, really like that, man, because
I love that thing.
Yeah.
That was great.
every time that I do turn it over, put it in his hands. Boom.
Well, let's put this out there.
Yeah, put it out.
Put it out right. Put it right out.
How come
Sauce it.
that made so much sense?
To us,
Right. What's the magic word? Because we're.
Ready?
That's right.
Yeah.
He wasn't even. He wasn't even.
I'm like, is this a test? Is this a
It
test?
is a test. It's always a test.
Because how many times, right? I know I'm this guy. Was this guy? Years ago, I would hear that, and my life was in the toilet. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Fuck that guy. Yeah. I'm gonna immediately disgrace it, chop it down, make it a mess because I'm ashamed of who I am, of what I got going on, and I don't even have the ability to try to be you 2 weeks ago and say, even if it's inappropriately, man, I don't know what I'm doing right now.
Or how about when you had to admit, well, you wouldn't, like I wouldn't, even knowing that I was wrong about something.
Yeah.
I ain't saying shit
Didn't
about it.
I sent you the thing one time, like it shows a guy like sitting back, like all relaxed, and it's like when you're 15 minutes into the argument and you know you're wrong, and you should apologize, but fuck
I'm
that.
gonna ride this bitch out.
But fuck that.
I will ride this out until I'm miserable.
You know, but this is this is a learned and continuously practiced thing.
Yeah.
This is not going to just happen.
No.
It does happen in my life. For me, it happened in little tiny increments, and it always came from situations that I thought were not going right. That's usually where it came from, where I would pick up the phone, say, hey, I'm losing my shit over here over this, man. And, and picking up the phone and talking about it, if you really look at it, that's kind of putting it in somebody else's hand, because I'm getting it out of my hands,
Right.
and I'm like, hey, man, I'm really struggling with this shit. Like, what do I do? So I just gave it to somebody else's hands.
Spread it out a little bit.
Spread it out, man.
Yeah.
Stop carrying the whole weight on my shoulder,
Hit that relief valve a little bit.
And it's so amazing on how many years I slapped this stuff away and balked at it. And today it's like, I know how to get through this, man. Pick up the phone. Talk to somebody real quick, because eventually, and this usually starts when I start putting it out of my mouth.
Yeah.
While I'm talking about it, I'm like, I already know the right answer.
Yeah, I was already fucked up on the
it's
front
like,
lawn.
now that I put that out there out loud, now that I heard it out loud, and now that it's just
Stupid.
bumbling around in the itty bitty shitty committee up here, I'm like, oh my God, that's the dumbest thing I've ever said.
You remember what I talk about when I say you don't open your mouth? About the poison?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Yo, is this
It gets more poisonier.
I've got a pimple there.
I can't see in this dark.
Oh, good. I'll have to retouch
might.
myself. Fucking
So my
irritating.
little theory is a lot of times we would get these negative thoughts, these negative feelings, and I'm not going to let it out, right? Because I got to hang on to this because I'm going to work it out and I'm
Right.
going to get through it. And I chose to look at it that's poison. And that poison just starts circulating in my brain. And the more that it circulates, the more momentum it gains, the stronger it gets, the more powerful it gets, until I self-implode, and then we got another issue. And the simplest thing relieves that. And you just talked about it. Opening my fucking mouth.
Yeah, but dude, that was like, think about when we were out there, man. That was I'm not telling anybody anything, and the three of us had to run our lives into the fucking crater and burn before we were like, somebody want to throw down like a fire extinguisher? Maybe I could use some little help. And I see it today, like I see it in KO. I've seen it in people that I work with on a daily basis, where they've come to that. They didn't have to blow up their lives. They realized, bro, like I could, in essence, maintain this for like a period of time, because evidence has shown me I have. But that inner bankruptcy, that spiritual bankruptcy.
Maintain what?
The fucking degeneracy, like working in the restaurant industry or bartending or selling drugs, it's not sustainable, but some people can sustain it for a period of time and look from the outside like, I got my shit together, things are all right. Right. And inevitably, even if you think, like I tried to work out the budget of how much heroin I needed to do a month to like afford it, right? Even if you work that recipe out, it can't last, because you become empty inside, and you need someone else to relieve that fucking pressure, man. Because just operating life and then you add a habit to it, man, that's a lot of fucking work. That's a lot of fucking work. So I tell the guys that I work with, listen, man, you got to look at your life. If you think you're good and shit's all right, and this is just a refresh, and I gotta like kind of spruce up myself, all right. The one thing that you don't change is the one thing that's going to bring you back to where you are right now, without a doubt. So I had to learn how to pray. I had to learn how to give my will over. And that was a tough one, right? Because I don't want to fucking give shit up. Look how far I've gotten. I never got fired when I was an addict. I might have been homeless, but I still had a job, And so that was a hard one, trying to give my will over. And even like I just exampled, I do this in sobriety. I still take my shit back. I still try to steer the ship, run the show. And then, like you said, I'm upside down.
Yeah, but you said my will, and I was confused with that for years. I got a turned my will over to that. Like he's got to handle everything, and and I was confused until I was ready to read these words in our book and learn that, oh, wait a minute, this is still me doing this stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's just conforming it to what it's supposed to be.
Trying to be in alignment with his
in
will.
alignment with him, right? So I'm still doing this on Earth. I'm the one doing the work.
You're chopping the wood.
I'm chopping the wood. I'm
And
carrying the
you're
water.
carrying the water.
Shout out to Hal
and the water.
But that's the truth, And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, dude, it hit me like a ton of bricks, dude, right in the face. And I've been reading that since 1988, at least once a year, at least. And I was like, what will become of me? I'll be the hole in the donut, all that stuff. And that's how I felt. And I'm like, and I just couldn't understand it. But when you read it as a set of directions.
Remember that one dude, Mike? I think his name was Mike. He used to, every time he would share, he'd start out with saying, I'm sober today through God's grace and a little bit of footwork.
Right.
Or something along them lines.
Something like that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
him?
Yeah.
And that's just what it boils down to, is that God he won't do what you need to, you got to do the work.
Got to do the work.
He's going to be there.
The whole
He's
step of
gonna
the way.
guide you,
Every
help
step
you,
of the way.
But you got to do the work.
That's right.
Man.
That guy that shared at the man spot, Eric. Another one I want to shout out.
Love that. Yeah, shout out Eric, man.
And it's like he's talking about everything he has gotten, all these blessings. He said they were blessings, and he knows where they're coming from. That is amazing. It gives me goosebumps, even just talking about it right now, because
gets me through the whole week.
I am when I look at my life, and I do this every morning. I look at my life, and I can't help but ooze gratitude. I can't help but do it because I get to have this life I have today. I'm blessed. Bro, all I did was throw my hands up in the air. That's all I did. And then do what I was told. And from that, this is what I have. This amazing, beautiful life, which I always have to reiterate on this. Like, my life is amazing. I've never had it so good. I have a life beyond my wildest dreams. Stuff still happens in my life. Of
course.
But there's a reason for it. I don't even have to understand what it is about. I just have to roll with these punches and be the best possible
It's
person.
simple. It's because it's just life.
It's just life, man.
It's just like when the alcoholic goes out, they're like, I don't know why I went out. Because you're alcoholic.
Or I don't like when people use like death as a reason.
Yeah.
Like, my husband died or my wife died. But it's like,
they come back to
drunk or
life?
not, people are still gonna die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It took me a long time though. It takes what it takes. You know what I mean? But I'm so happy it did it before it was too late.
But
you know what I mean?
it always, man, it always boils down to if you ain't ready, nothing matters.
Nothing. Your head's not open enough, man.
No, and the whole thing about letting go, let God, turn it over. The reason I don't do those things is because I'm still full of pride and ego. That's what that is. That is the prevention of allowing God to take over.
You're still trying to fix the mind you got with the mind you got.
That's right. And I'm still want to be in control.
Yeah.
I'm low key. I want to be in control, but I'm going to say, hey, God, hook me up.
I wonder if he's watching. I'm going to say it. Can I just say one thing, though? I can't stand that shit, man. Well, anything you're about to say right now goes against everything we're trying to tell you. But yeah, can I just say one thing, though?
Yeah,
Can I just defend one thing?
You don't know who he's talking about.
Yeah. Oh,
I think you do.
You will, but you don't right now.
So I have this
Can I
theory.
just say one thing?
Yeah. And then I'm going to say this one thing. And let me know if you jive with this theory.
I jive, bro. I jive. Does anybody here speak jive?
Jive turkey.
We could put a fucking airplane movie on.
I think your level of gratitude is directly correlated to the experience of destitute. So the farther down the scale that you've gone, either mentally, physically, or emotionally, spiritually, the greater capacity you have for gratitude in your life. Because I'll tell you right. Go ahead.
Because why? Because you can only go up from here.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I can be grateful for waking up in a
Yeah,
for
but
the
I
fucking
don't agree with that.
You don't like
Which
my
one?
theory?
Which one? With who?
No. My theory. Your gratitude's measure is correlated to the level of destitute you've
Well,
experienced.
because dude,
I know a ton of people that didn't go down the scale as far as I did, and they're very grateful.
Ooh, but I'm not saying the
Au
physical
contraire, mon
things.
frère.
Au contraire. The destitute doesn't have to be jails and institutions. The
Right.
destitute could be that mental and spiritual
Of course,
fucking turmoil that you experience waking up soulless.
I was at a meeting years ago, probably about
Stayed too.
I want to say
Yeah,
probably
good
about
work, buddy, good work.
9 years ago, and this lady told her story. And here's the piece of shit I am, right? She's talking about her bottom, and she's going on, and she used to have, at a certain time, she would start drinking. And then after 6 drinks, she would stop and go to bed. Now, in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah, some
what the
controlled
fuck
drinking?
kind of bottom is this? But then she got into her bottom.
Yeah.
Like the emotional ringer she was
Yeah.
going through with that. And I could relate to that.
Yes.
That's when I realized it's not what you drink. It's not how much you drink.
Right.
It's not where you drink. It's not who you drink it with. It's what happens to you when you drink.
you
And
do
all
drink,
she would
bro.
do in the middle of those 6 drinks is suicidal. Just
Barely.
like, you know what I mean? And I was like, gives a shit it was 6 drinks. Like, I could relate to the pain. I could relate to the emotional
Yeah.
bottom you're going through. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it depends how you look at it in your perspective, but I had to go a little further. You know what I mean? And I understand what you're saying, because again, my bottom had to be that bottom for my mind to open up to start listening to these things. That hers started at 6.5 drinks. It might have started at 6.5. Mine was 6.5 gallons. You know what I mean? So it's not the amount, it's what happens. And I could really relate to pain and emotional bottoms, bro. Like, that's what gets me all the time.
Well, that's just the way that we keep ourselves separate.
Right.
I compared bottoms all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You got way more misery to go endure.
Yeah.
Come back to me after you roll around in the gutter.
I dropped more crack than you smoked.
I remember there was someone that
I ain't never dropped
They were
crack.
telling their story, and they were like, "I almost lost my job." What? What the fuck was it? What was a job?
Remember that dude was like, all I have is a bike. And I go, you got a bike? I'm like, dude, I'd still be out there if I had a bike.
But you know, man,
It's everybody else's, man. It's theirs. Keep it.
I really believe, man, there's key words in this thing, man. If you just really get in on them key words, man, life can change, and turning it over is one of them, and you know, not making it about me every fucking minute.
Right. So another thing I got out of this video, the video, was, you know how he says, you put this basketball, it's worth nothing. You put this ball, it's worth this club nothing, right? But you put our literature and our willingness in our hand,
Yeah.
it's invaluable. The amount of people that we can help.
Yeah. What was it worth fucking
We're uniquely
11 years
qualified.
ago?
It was worth Ugats 11 years
Right.
ago.
Ugats.
And that's exactly what the fucking,
Ugats.
you know?
And that's our best asset. And like Saturday night, that speaker jam in, all the guys that I could relate to and that I could listen to were just, they weren't sharing stories about other people or, you know, Larry Johnson or, you know, Larry Bird, whatever.
I was like, who the fuck's Larry
I don't
Johnson?
know. He's the guy, isn't he?
Magic's brother?
Yeah. It's when Larry and Magic got together, they had a baby.
Magic's white brother.
It was called Larry Johnson. It was just their story, man. It was their experience, right? And so when people are nervous to speak in front of a crowd, bro, this is yours. This is now you can't fucking fuck this up. This is yours. As time goes on, you get the grace of having some good experiences to outweigh your negative experiences that brought you here, you know, and show some inspiration. And that shit Eric shared, man, and I had 2 guys that showed up from Danbury. I'm so glad that he shared that, man, because that kept that's an icing on top of the cake, man. Because after he said the first thing, I was like, oh shit, somebody lent you their car to take your driver's test? Oh shit.
Oh,
and then
my
the
God,
next
dude.
one, I was like,
that
oh.
was heavy duty.
By the end, I was like, yeah. It's fucking crazy.
I saw
man.
him today. I was at the spot with him today, man.
At the
These
spot.
cats are doing it, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And they're not like, in the next week. They're not in next month. They're like, I only have 2 months. Like you hear this, I only have 2 months here and they're going to kick me out. Why are you so worried about 2 months from now? It's not even tomorrow yet.
Yeah.
Bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? And these guys are just in the moment. They're where their feet are. And to see people with 44 days, 60 days already with that mindset
right.
brings me so much joy because I couldn't be where my feet were for a while.
No.
It was a long time, man.
Not
you know?
those 60 days.
No. 60 days, my feet were back in Waterbury, bro. And I was living in Stanford. I'm like, I got to get on that train somehow, get back. I'm dying out here.
Yeah.
Just never really sitting in the moment and looking for a solution. Just always looking down the line at what I could get. What I could get. Instead of saying, bro, if this is where you want me, obviously this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to have to try to make the best of it. Just try to help me out here. You know
I
what mean?
remember I was sitting in Carl Robinson, and I was only
mean
about
Carl Rogers.
Carl Rogers, right?
Yeah, right.
I love it. They got good burgers there.
And it was right after that Cheshire thing.
Oh,
So now it made me based on my record, made me a violent offender. So they took my parole date, and I get this letter in the mail from parole saying your date is gone. We'll see you in another year or two. I'm like, phew. Now I'm in this program inside the facility. I'm like, oh, I might as well just go back out onto the compound and act like a knucklehead again. And then I said, or maybe I can start looking at this step work. And that's literally the conversation I had on 44 bunk and 6 building. And I'm sitting there, 6B, 44 bunk. And I went to my counselor and I said, oh, I think I want to try this step work. And I did a 1 through 5 with a woman counselor.
Yeah.
I remember before I did a 4th and a 5th, I went to Bobby. I said, I got to, do a 4th and 5th, man. I only got a woman. He's like, you do what you got to do.
Hell yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. And that was when I finally, for the first time in my life, put my sobriety first.
Right.
And did what was necessary. And not come up with the 50 million excuses that I'm always...
Can I just say one thing? It's the thing.
And just so amazing at coming up with excuses to just derail myself.
All the time, dude.
I did that analogy about the dog chasing his tail.
Oh, my God.
Did I say that on here yet? I know I shared it in the meeting.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You remember it?
I know, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone laughs at a dog when it chases his tail,
Yeah.
right? But if you're in this thing that we have, that we suffer from, and you have it, and you go in and out like a ping pong ball, who's sillier, the dog chasing his tail or you going in and out of this thing? Think about it, And for my whole life, I was very good at, I would point a finger at the bum, point a finger at the junkie, point a finger at the alcoholic. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in piss and shit. Because my life is so fucking amazing, right?
Because you got it awesome.
It's so crazy because Big Eddie talks about this all the time. He's always good to bring this up when he talks about how willing we were to put our lives in people's hands out on the street.
Yeah.
The drug dealer that we just met that's handing us some stuff we don't even know what really, but we were like, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thank
My
you.
new best
Thank
friend.
you. With hands like this. Hey, God, please help me
Thank
with
you for
some more
making
crack.
me wait an hour. I don't, it doesn't. It's
Yeah,
no
and
big
then
deal.
going,
It's no big deal.
I don't care what it is. I trust it. And then we come in here, something that has saved millions of people's lives.
I don't know
And we're
about
like,
it.
You
can I
trying to
just
help
say
me?
one thing though?
Yeah. Wait a fucking minute.
Holy fucking
So
shit.
I it's funny when all these things. It's not funny. It's amazing when all these things fall together and you realize you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Recently, I talked to you guys before I went into talk at work, and I got a promotion and I was put into this new position, which I was like, I got a family, I got things, responsibilities and stuff, but I didn't know
Just for the record,
Yeah.
you didn't tell me none of that.
Yeah, he did.
No, the
it was
fuck
a
he
while
didn't.
ago. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it
Fuck
was.
you and fuck
Remember,
you.
he was,
called you on the way
he
in.
was telling us about he was going to go in and ask for a raise.
Yeah.
It was,
But it was
like
no-
3 months ago.
You didn't say nothing after that.
Yeah, because it just happened.
Well, you didn't tell me about it.
Oh, this is
It just
news to
happened.
us.
Yeah, this is
Continue.
news. So it just happened. I
Can I
got.
just say
Can I
one
just say
thing,
one
though?
thing?
It was about a week ago, a week ago, that they were like, yeah, so we really, the owners want to put you in this position, want to get you out there doing business development, meeting other facilities and going to events and all that sort of stuff. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And so I just started doing it. And I'm this past week, I'm Thursday morning, yesterday, I'm on a meeting for Connecticut EAP. It's the Employee Assistance Program that a lot of companies have. It's all those people are in the meeting, and I got invited to start attending that every month. And I'm sitting there, and I was like, I don't know what to expect. It's like 3 hours long. And then one of these women gets up who's hosting it and starts talking and giving a presentation. I was like, yeah, I can relate all about all that. And then she's telling me that she's also in the club. I was like, oh no shit. And then they start talking about somebody else because they're having a convention coming up. And I know the person they're talking to. As a matter of fact, I am on the phone texting with him right now. And I was like, holy shit. And it took me to like finish that meeting to sit back and be like, oh, and here's the other part. I was going in here thinking I was going to go in blind. I'm going to meet a bunch of people I don't know. I already knew 2 people in there. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. It takes a lot of flags from up above to show me like, bro, you're in the right place. You're
But it
doing
also takes you the willingness to just do it,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
just
yeah,
go.
yeah, just do it.
Everything you want is right on the other side of that.
Yeah, just do
right
it.
on the other side
Fear.
of fear, man.
Yeah.
All the time, man.
And
Everything you want.
It's crazy, man. I just felt so right at home in it, and it just correlates directly to my move to Waterbury or Watertown. Man, like it was taxes in New York were too much. I was like, man, the only thing I know about Waterbury is, I used to cop a lot of fucking dope there. Mm-hmm. And then I moved here. But what carried me the whole time was I've got this fellowship of people that I know whenever I go on vacation, I could pop in a joint, go into a meeting, and I know these guys, and they know me.
Exactly.
It might have a different flavor to it.
Just friends we never met yet.
Friends we haven't met yet. And sure as shit, look at the guys that I'm grateful for this on a daily basis because I oftentimes, more often than not, will come to the 2 of you before I even go to my sponsor with it. Because for some reason, I've got this thing like, I don't want to bother him, like, this is like, this
Damn,
is
Joe's got an easy job, man.
this is little stuff, he shouldn't be bothered with this. He's like, yeah, dude, I like the little stuff, man. It's like, it's all about the little stuff.
But we are at the point in our recovery and in our lives that we know it just pick up the phone. Just call somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Joe every single time anymore. You know what I mean? There's not fires for him to put out anymore. Like things aren't force fires anymore.
Yeah.
They're just little situations that I need to be like, hey, I just wanted to throw this out.
Run it by you.
Run it by you.
Yeah.
Get some suggestions, man. So put it in his hands, bro. That's all you got to do. And before we end
Can I
this,
just say one thing?
you can say anything.
Wait, one thing.
You've proved it.
Just one thing. No, it goes right back to what you were talking about a minute ago. There was this guy telling a story one time, and he's like, when I showed up here, I thought I had trust issues. I told people I got trust issues. And he said, then it occurred to me, the guy giving me the stuff.
Yeah.
I trusted it.
100%.
I trusted at 9 o'clock on the dot. The package door was going to get unlocked. Full of trust.
Trust everything.
So what I found out was I have a lot of fear issues.
Right.
No trust issues whatsoever. I'm
zero.
full of fear and insecurities.
Yeah.
So if I could just put those on ice long enough to let this miracle happen, it will.
It's truth.
My
It's
ADD
truth, man.
just kicked in. I thought that I didn't hit record on anything.
Oh my Lord. I
I was like, oh,
So yeah, this was a
sucks.
really good one. Again, as usual.
per usual.
It is what it is. It is what it's supposed to be. How do I gotta act? What do I gotta do? Period. And just know that I'm taken care of, man. I am taken care of. It was a really good topic. Tonight we have a one-time bro, of course. I don't even really know who's
We
it
didn't
is.
discuss this at all.
I think it's on you, John.
My streak has come to an end of not sharing
having
one
one.
times.
Yeah.
We haven't had one in a long time.
It's been a
Yeah,
minute.
because I had like 3 in a row.
Well, we felt bad for you, so gave you a good break.
So yeah, that was a really good topic again, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, merchandise. If you need help, we got guys. Get in touch with us. John will put on the screen somewhere in the podcast how to do all that. And if you need the help, we can help, man. We really can.
Sponsor Monster.
Sponsor
Yeah,
Monster.
send us some stuff.
And the Red Balls. Yeah, Monster, send us some fish, some
Hashtag Red Bulls, hashtag
Fiji.
Monster, Fiji.
all that good stuff. So,
Wood tick candles.
yeah. I forgot to light it.
You didn't set the mood, son.
Set the mood. But anyway, so all right, we're moving on to our next segment, which is called This One Time Bro. And it's when one of us shares a little story of a crazy time in our life and what happened. Or sometimes it could be a positive one.
Right
So.
there?
I'm just putting all my old zins together, making sure
Zin
they're
it
out of
up.
the way.
John, what do you got?
I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go with a sober one time, bro,
Nice.
because I.
Stop doing that, though.
Okay. Okay, it's helping me think, man.
No, it's not.
It's not at all.
Sober one time. So, oh gosh. Okay, so this one kind of has been rattling around in my head, because there's a convention coming up, and my first year sober was a very fucking rough time. It was, I was 2 months into my sobriety. Ashley just reminded me that I had actually taken 3 months off of work, and it was at like the 2-month mark that I had like passed out, had a semi-seizure in the shower, had to go to urgent care. They were like, you probably should have gone to the hospital for this, but you're here now. Great. And it was really fucking rugged, it was really rugged, and I had to follow what everybody else was telling me to do because I just didn't want to get drunk or high. I knew that it would temporarily relieve what I was feeling, but it was only temporary and everything would get worse. And I felt good that I was like raw dogging it, man. Yeah. There was nothing else in me, like I was just doing this through the program. So my sponsor, my buddy at the time, invited me to go to Massachusetts for a convention. I know nothing about conventions. I know nothing about this world. And in all honesty, I thought that when you got sober, like life sucked. Life just sucked now, all the excitement's fucking drawn out. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And at this time I'm on, probation's so fucked up that they got me on color code testing. So like I would have to call every morning and listen to a recording, and if they said the color being called is orange, I would have to figure out how to get to probation because I didn't have a license, and piss in a cup. Yeah. Straight out of horses too. But so Harry came up to me and he was like, dude, it's a convention. You want to go? I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could leave the state. I don't know, like, what's going to happen with that, a whole sort of thing. He was like, well, it's an option if you want to do it. And I think people in the group and other sober people kind of encouraged me, like, just do it, man. Like, tell probation what's going on. Tell them and I did. And I provided, my sponsor's name, where I was going to be staying, all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's all right. And so I was like, all right. And I was so full of fear and anxiety going to this thing. We drove, 2.5 hours up to Boston from New York, and we get at the hotel, and I'm having fun on the ride up. We're joking around in the car, and we get to the convention, and sure as shit, there's like 2 other people that I know from back home that are there, and we all get together, and we're getting ready to go to the first main meeting of the night and all that shit. And I was like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. They have it was an international convention.
Oh, big.
So it was big, And the meeting was awesome. And I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. I went to my first silent disco, which I thought was fucking weird as fuck. But
what?
Yeah, it's like you go in a room with like a fog machine, there's disco lights, but there's no music playing. There's just headphones. And you put on headphones and there's 2 DJs that are battling.
Yeah.
It's either red or blue glowing from your headphones. It depends on which DJ you're listening to. And they're spinning different brands of music to try to get everybody hyped. And I had a fucking blast, man. I was dancing my ass off. And this is the first night's over. I'm like, wow, man, I'm fucking having fun here. This is fucking epic. They do the countdown, all this shit. So the second night comes around, and we go downstairs. We go out to dinner, and the there's workshops, all this shit going on. And the main meeting is at 7 o'clock in the great ballroom of this Marriott in the middle of downtown Boston. And I was like, all right, we all kind of corral in. And the fucking line to get into the great room is like the whole lobby is filled. People packed like shoulder to shoulder because they got the door shut. I was like, what the fuck, man? It's almost 7 o'clock. What the fuck is going on here? Why can't we get into the meeting? And we're sitting there for like 15, 20 minutes, just elbow to elbow, just all jammed up. Finally, they open the doors and the lights are all dim in the great room. And we all go sit down. And, the leader comes up and he gives the announcement that, this is the main meeting of the night. He goes, but before we get started, I know you guys were all jammed up outside in the hallway, and this was, it was a little uncomfortable, and we were running a little late, but for good reason. Introducing the Dropkick Murphys.
No.
Get out of here.
And then, boom, lights go on. There's the fucking Dropkick Murphys shipping out to
What
Boston.
the
Bah,
fuck?
bah, 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 bah. And they fucking play like a fucking whole set for us before the meeting.
Most of them are sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea, bro. And I'm like, people are just like, ah!
Wow.
It was just so fucking epic. And I was like, holy shit. Like, that was when my eyes were just peeled open. Like, listen, your life can be fantastic still. You can have amazing experiences. And guess what? You're going to fucking remember them, you know? And I remember coming home from that weekend with Ari, and I was like, fuck.
Higher than any bag of dope could have got you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel fucking amazing. And at that time, I'd gone through most of my steps. The shakes and the shivers were kind of out of my body. And I was like, fuck, man, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, yeah, man, it's amazing. You look around all over social media, YouTube, television. There's a lot of people that don't flaunt their shit, but do live this life and share it just selflessly with everybody else. So that was my one time I got to see the Dropkick.
Best one time ever.
Dropkick,
Right
huh?
Yeah, well, I'm repping Dropkick. I was getting inked on it at Matt's place, and you had the thing on the wall. I was like, oh, you down with the Dropkick and Murray? Yeah. So
I lost my leg. Huh?
I've seen them a million times.
Yeah. I've only seen them like one time. They were great though, man.
Fantastic.
If in that genre, they're top dogs.
Genre.
Genre.
That's not the word.
Genre.
It's like genre, but genre.
In their genre, they're top dog, bro. Top dogs, bro.
I like
Hands
genre.
down, bro.
I'm going to start saying genre.
Genre.
Fuck
So
it,
that
just
was a
like
good
my
one,
higher
man.
power.
I was like,
And it was a free concert.
And I was like, fucking 20 rows of little, meeting chairs away from the lead singer. And it was like, the speakers were awesome. I remember leaving that shit and I was looking on YouTube for the dude from New Hampshire that shared there was like a 3-speaker start. I was so gassed, man. I was like, this is fucking great. I laughing my ass off, dancing my ass off. What an epic fucking
Sobriety, baby.
amazing.
Sobriety.
Absolutely amazing.
The highest I've ever been, bro.
best game in
highest
town.
ever.
It is. It's the best game in town. That was a good one, John. All right, man. That was a good one. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Merchandise. If you need help, let us know. That was a good one-time story. That was a fantastic topic, and I think the
Slow
only
it down a
thing
little bit there.
I have
Slow it down a little bit
to
there, partner.
say, rabbit, is
Not yet.
not yet. Thank you for being a friend, guys. Thank you for being a friend.
Travel down a road